childcare today, so I'm kind of winging it with that. It's been It's been quite a few busy last few days with my real job getting really busy and life getting busy, and we're in the middle of summer. So I hope to get back to my regularly scheduled stream for the rest of the summer and for the future. Notice it looks like we'll be good for today and Wednesday. Friday is TBD. I might end up streaming on Thursday. So thank you guys for everybody who's joining. Today, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about profitability and how I'm not that profitable right now. And I want to find out how you guys are handling the heat as well as, your profitability and what the future of your mining farm is, at least, for the next few weeks, what you plan on doing, what you're mining, etc. And then maybe we'll go over some news at the end. I plan on streaming for, I want to say, let's say probably 45 minutes to an hour. We'll just see how everything goes. As always, we do this in a podcast style format, and I am going to start releasing this in a podcast if you guys would rather just listen as well. I'm working on that, one of many irons in the fire. So let's get to it. I want to thank everybody for joining, by the way, and thank you guys for your continued support. We are very, very close to 4,000 subs. The goal was to hit it last week, but we fell a little bit short. So the goal is to hit it this week. So thanks again, and let's just say hi to everybody. What's going on, Nerd Beast? How you doing, Backwards Miner? What's up, Ace K? And my favorite pool miner. What is going on, Viper? So what we're going to start with today is, how's your profitability going? In case you guys haven't seen, and we're going to go to livecoinwatch.com, basically all of the major coins have taken a massive dump in profitability. You can see BTC is down 5% to about 6,000. ETH is at 3,200. Even, Caspa's taking a hit, and these are the big ones. Like, Caspa's down to 14 cents. So let's look at the ones I'm mining, right? So the biggest one that I've been mining is Zealous, and Zealous is taking a beating. We're down 15% on the day at $11.83. We are down 37% over the last 30 days. Hope you guys sold when it was at 25 plus. Thankfully, I sold the majority of mine at 25 plus. Probably should have sold at 35, but what are you going to do? I actually just sold a few days worth today. So yeah, profitability is not good. Like if we look at our bread and butter third coin, Silica, it's down 7% over the last week and 30% over the last 7 days. We're at a cent now, which is a bummer. We were at almost 3 cents before. We're down 53% over the last 90 days. So everything is taking a beating. Let's see, 306 Miner asks, any salad here? So we'll talk about salad in a little bit too. We're going to go over some news at the end of the stream. Let's see. He's Viper says, diversify, boys. CPU's making the bank right now. So I've been away all weekend. I had some family things and life. So I am not in the know on CPUs. So if someone wants to point me to somewhere to point my CPUs, because I'm currently on Zephyr and I need to get off of it. So I'll be DMing you later, Viper, to try to figure out what I'm doing. It's annoying because, everybody's super, super busy in the summer, especially if you're like me and you have kids. I know mining disrupt is going on right now, and I wasn't able to make it. I put all my bags in the Computex basket, and I was not able to go to that, which messed up my whole trip schedule, which is fine. I'll plan better next year. But anyway, it's just kind of hard. It's kind of hard to stay to keep up with everything in life and your YouTube channel. So my CPU miners have honestly just been on Zephyr mining away. I'm getting like 2 Zeph a day. Looks like Spectre is where we got to go with CPUs. Well, I will be figuring out how to mine Spectre in about 45 minutes, and I'll move all of my CPU mining rigs there. So Ace K says no market for Spectre as of now. But then Viper says, I just sold $450 worth yesterday. That is awesome. So I don't know. I wouldn't say Zell is Pro Gaming with Vicky says Zell is dead now. What's next? I wouldn't exactly say Zell is dead. So currently, right, let me show you my profitability numbers. They're not that good. Just fair warning. Let me get those up for you. So if we go to my profitability numbers right here, this is with what I have on right now. I'm essentially only mining 3 things, right? Well, I'm mining 4 things, and this is my CPUs, my GPUs, my ASICs. This is everything. So essentially what I am mining right now is I'm basically mining Zealous on everything that can. Zealous on everything besides the HBM2 memory GPUs, which are mining iron. And then my AMD GPUs are on Chlor. Then Chlor is just a spec play. I'm not actually making much money on it. But right now, it's about $58 to run my farm. With my write-off of $12 factored in, I'm making about $16 a day right now, which isn't really that good at all. But I haven't touched my farm for basically over a week, minus some hardware changes. You guys saw the shed video I released today, and if you haven't, please go ahead and watch it. It's a good one. That's about a week old now. I'm showing you the shed videos from pre-heat. The heating. I don't even know what the heat dome. It's been 90s. This is the first day where we haven't been 90 yet. It's only about 80 degrees in 2 weeks in the Northeast. So my shed is doing. It did really good the whole time. Actually, I had 1 or 2 GPUs and 1 or 2 rigs that had issues, but I got those issues resolved in the middle of the heat wave, and it's doing pretty good. Let's see. Viper says show non-KYC chart of SPR. You can just do the same extent. Okay, so it's on Xbitron. Oh, gotta love Xbitron. Yeah, I'll DM you on the details because I'm definitely going to move my CPUs over if they're profitable. I'm sure I'm late to the game, and I don't claim to be on top of everything right now as, life is just real busy. And I'm on my very last month of good power. Right now, my rate is about 10.5 cents, and I have 35 days before it goes away. So right now, I am essentially mining with stuff that I probably wouldn't be mining on. The only things that are off right now in my farm are my BC250s are off because Cubic was being weird, and I couldn't get them, like after the epoch, something happened with the software, and I couldn't get them working, and I've been really busy with my other job, really busy. Surprisingly so. So I haven't had any time, so I just shut them off, essentially. But everything else is on. I'll probably do a video on what I'm mining, in the future. But $16 a day isn't the worst, honestly. Let's see. Viper says, I'm off from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Just completely off for the past 3 weeks. I feel you. Yeah, man. Not everybody can sit in front of the screen, and I'm not upset about it, guys. $16 isn't that bad. I'm selling daily. I'm no longer completely diving into lithium. I feel like I have enough of a lithium bag to just wait it out, and I'm going to be quite honest with you. I was pretty disappointed that I didn't hear any lithium announcements at the Bitmain convention in Vegas. Kind of happy I didn't go to that, too, because it felt like a dud. So, I'm just sticking to what I'm on, really. And I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually thinking that I am going to be buying Bitcoin with my profits. The few little profits I have after power, I definitely think we're just going to be buying Bitcoin for the foreseeable future. I don't really trust any altcoins. I mean, I'm building this Chlor bag, but it's like two mining rigs. It's literally a 6,000 series rig and a 5,000 series rig. So I'll play with that for a little bit, but I'm not stacking anything else. My KS0, I'm stacking Octaspace on my Jazz Miner. That is the only other thing I'm stacking. Everything else I'm selling. Anything else I'm getting is gone. I started selling iron more again. I have a little bit of an iron bag that I'm just sticking with for a little bit. But other than that, I'm essentially just selling daily. And we're going to be buying into Bitcoin for now. I really don't think there's anything else worth mining right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not against mining right now. And I'm not I don't want to mine anymore. Mining's terrible. But I'm very bearish on mining right now. Nothing's holding its value. And I'm at 10 cents kilowatt hour and I'm barely making any profits. Like my profits are going to go down even smaller when I'm at, I think I'm going up to like 12 to 14 cents. And when I hit that, I'm turning off probably everything but my 170 HXs and my 40 series. But then I might just start holding more, or I might just swap into Bitcoin. So we'll see. My power bill will be way, way less. I'll probably be turning off all my 3070s for a little bit too. But, I think this could be the calm before the storm. And this is me just speculating. Hopefully, when the election is over, once we're done election season, which is, it's only 4 months away, everything will go nuts. So we'll see. I just don't trust anything enough to build bags in it right now, guys. Honestly. Nerd B says, pack it up, boys. Bitcoin ATC, or Bitcoin all-time high was 73K. Cycle's over. See you all in 2028. Yeah, I don't know about that. But, look, overall, this bear market has not been as bad as people said it would be when ETH started. Like, the fact that everything is as crappy as it is right now, and I'm still banking $16 a day, isn't terrible. Now, if I wasn't a business, I'd be making like $4 a day. But I am, and I can write it off. So, $16 a day is still $16 a day. It's not like the way my farm is right now, everything is just running. Like, I'm not messing with anything. It's just running, and it's running fine. And during the heat wave, I was lucky, and I didn't have any issues. I don't know why my monitor stand is... Oh, I got to tighten the monitor stand. That's why it's moving. I didn't have any issues. So, we're trying to be positive. Excuse me. I wanted to use this live stream to kind of go over some profitability. Ace K asked me, do you think altcoin season is coming? Ace K, I don't know what to think about altcoin season. Altcoin season for the last 4 to 6 months was kind of like mine the new hot coin, get a big ass bag of it, and then dump it before it tanked. Now, there were some coins like Pyram or Carlson that would go up, and then they would go down, and then they would go up again. But if you just look at the altcoin market in general, especially the new stuff, right? Zealous is down, and it's probably the best performing one. Let's just look at Pyram, right? Let's look at Pyram. Pyram is down 83% in 90 days. What was the let's look at the last new fork, PubDag. I mined some, and it's basically worthless now. I didn't sell it in time, and I think it's trading at 20 cents, or not 20 cents. Like my bag was $100, and then it became worth nothing, which is it is what it is. Let's look at ZT the Zealous fork, Zytex. Look at this. No, that's not this one. It is called ZTX. That's not Zytex. It's the wrong one. It's down 71% in 15 days, or in 7 days. So in my Zytec, I had I don't know. I think I had 50 of it, right? And it's worth $1 now. It was worth $15, and it was worth so little that I was I'm not going to sell it. We're just going to leave it. So if you look at it, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize I didn't switch the video over. You're just seeing my profitability numbers. If you look at Zytex, it's garbage. It's down 71%. All of these altcoins, let's even look at some older ones, Husat, which people made money off of. It's down 95%. None of these coins are holding their value, guys. Let's look at the first one, the OG fork, Carlson. 87% it's down. I got rid of 90% of my bag. And I did well off all of these. The only one that there were 3 that I didn't make money on. Bunga, which I only had my cast zeros on. And whatever. They made me plenty of money. I don't care about that. Zytex, I had 2 rigs on for 48 hours. Whatever. Or no, for a week. I had 2 rigs on it for a week. It is what it is. And then we had PubDag, which I mined for 48 hours on a quarter of my farm. So I think I'm down overall in terms of power, maybe $200 on all of those. And I've made way more off of other forks. So you win some and you lose some. But honestly, lately, it just feels like if you're not here right away to dump these meme coins, or I'm just going to call them meme altcoins because they're even crappier altcoins, then you're just stuck with the bag. And it's only the people that are literally selling right away that can get are profitable. Now, Zealous was something that, I've made a lot of money on for a long time. Not nearly as much as the people in the beginning, but I did really, really well on Zealous. And I'm still profitable on it. Like, without Zealous, I frankly don't know what I'd be mining. Just catching up on chat. Let's see. Viper says, Spectre wasn't worth anything when I mined it a month ago. Glad I held it. That's awesome, man. I'm really glad. I got to start doing more spec CPU mining. I just haven't had the time. Let's see. I will probably look if Spectre's profitable, I'll mine it. I'm on Zephyr right now. My small Zephyr farm is getting like a Zephyr a day at this point. And I'm just hoping that Zephyr basically pumps back up again. I think I'm getting Zephyr a day. Let me see. I've got it on my other monitor. Yeah, I'm getting 1.2 Zephyr a day. And I've got, excuse me, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I've got 9 CPUs on it. So it's making me $2.85 a day, $20 a week. I mean, it's profitable a little bit. I'm just going to hold it and hope it goes nuclear. But I am going to look to probably mine something else with it. Pro Gamer with Vicky says, sleeping now, love from India. See ya. Thanks, man. I really appreciate the love. Have a good time. RXD is the only thing I have not some money on. Even Caps of Crypto made me money. Yeah, look, so Cats of Crypto offered to give me an initial bag of it to help them promote it. And I respectfully declined because I don't like to promote coins. Now, I missed out on a few $100. But I don't want to be associated with a coin. Like, that's a dangerous game to play, even though I respect what they did. And I get what they did. For me, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I don't want to be associated with a coin. Honestly, even pools. Like, I'll give you pools I recommend, and I'll give you pools I don't trust. And I have affiliate links on some pools. But, like, I don't even trust certain, like, most pools I don't trust. And I don't want to be associated with them in terms of sponsorship reads. Like, I've turned down sponsorship reads from plenty of pools. So, it's hard to support certain things in the crypto business with how... obviously with how volatile the industry is right now, especially right now. As far as RXD, I'm kind of curious to see how bad my RXD bag is taking a hit right now. Let's see. I've got about 950,000 of it. So, yeah, it's taking a pretty big dump. It's down about 50%. It was worth almost $2,000 before. That's all right. At this point, I'm just going to hold it. My 1660 Supers made me about 150,000 of that bag. So it's like it still was worth doing. That's for sure. I need some more solo plays on my 1660 Supers before I shut those down. I kind of want to see if I could solo something in the last month and see if I can make it profitable. Let's see. NerdB says, I got an airdrop of coins and sold it for 500. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, like I said, they offered me an airdrop for promotions, and I don't believe in airdrops because 99% of the time they're scams. So I'm kind of just like, I don't really want to, it's just a slippery slope for influencers and YouTubers. As you guys all know, with the whole salad debacle this past weekend, let's see. Viper says, here is a free thing to review, and we will pay you in botnet views and botnet subscribers. Yeah, I don't know about that. I know you're joking, but I hear you. Backwards Miner says, my bag of RXT hurts like my elf bag, but it'll go up. Yeah, my elf bag really hurts, but I bought it low, so like it doesn't hurt that much, and I do believe that they will go up. ASICs are on the network, so I feel like it's only a matter of time. Let's see. That farm that took over the RXD network really messed things up. Maybe RXD is dead now. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. It was one of my big spec plays during the bear market, and I amassed a decent bit of it, so I hope it doesn't die. But, it's not a lot of money. Honestly, my big bags of my biggest crypto, I'm doing okay with. I really am. So, these smaller bags are hurting. We'll see, right? We'll see. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen for another, we got a little bit of time for the next bear market. So, Viper says, I'm sitting on 5 million RXD. There's nothing none of us can do. Yeah, I mean, you just 5 million, huh? What's that worth now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you got about 4 grand of it. It could be totally worse. Well, hopefully it'll go back up to 8 to 12 to 20. You know, I'm hoping for you guys. Nerdby says, I was really hoping for that ASIC RxD pump will continue to hold. Yeah, I mean, there's no sense to dump it like right now. So the only thing that I'm dumping right now is like really, 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 really altcoins. And like I dumped all my Cedra. I honestly, I have bags of Cubic still. Like, I even still have bags of Cubic and bags of Warthog that I'm not ready to dump. Viper says it was worth 20K. Man, it'll go up eventually. Ace K says, do you have a bag of Nexa? Yeah, I have a pretty dang big bag of Nexa. It was worth 3,000 a few months ago, 4,000. I'm sure it's worth way less. I always thought, I've been waiting for Nexa to kind of hit. Let's pull up Nexa while we're talking about it. I've been waiting for Nexa to hit on the ASICs, and it hasn't yet. Look, it could be totally worse, right? If you look at the way some other coins have sank, it's lost about 50% of its value in 90 days. But it could go up. I'm assuming my Nexa bag's worth like $1,000, if that. Nexa's probably the most out there. Nexa and Nori are probably the most altcoin of altcoin bags that I'm willing to hold right now. Anything that's a little crazier than that, unless it's borderline worthless, I'm going to hold for now. And then everything else I'm just converting into Bitcoin, honestly. Like, I'm just going to convert everything into Bitcoin. The bags I have are the bags I have. I'm not bearish. Like, the most profitable things right now are the super altcoins, which don't hold their value. So it's basically like you sell now and you turn it into whatever you want, and then you build a bag of whatever you believe in. I just don't think it's anything that's profitable right now. Like, if we look at hashrate.no, right? And look, I know hashrate.no's numbers aren't the most accurate, but it's something, right? Like, Graham, you can't sell with an American, which is super annoying. So if you get off of Graham, right? You move off of Graham, you're back to like Pyram, and you're basically making like 30 cents. So essentially, the 40 series and the 170 HX are really all that's profitable right now. Like, let's look at a 3070. A 3070, you're making like, jeez, like 3 cents? No, you're making about 10 cents on Ergo and Pyram. But I don't know how you're going to triple mine right now with how hot it is. What does it have you at a zealous profitability? I feel like these zealous profitability numbers are wrong. It shows you losing 2 cents. Let's so here are the zealous numbers. Let's plug them into the calculator, right? So let's see what my farm is getting on zealous. I'm not going to show it up here. I'll just read it to you. So I'm getting like 265 for 110 watts on a 3070, right? So right now it's showing Zealous is losing 2 cents at 10 cents. So if we go to Zealous, right? So 265 at like 109 watts, and we do profits. It's making 5 cents. I mean, it's not really making that much, but like, you factor in ZIL and it's a little more. I don't know. I just think these hash rate I know numbers are just wrong, which is probably why, if you look at the Zealous hash rate, right? If you look at the mining pool stats, sorry. Like, if you look at Zealous, the hash rate is probably tanking. We haven't seen any miner updates. Frankly, it's probably not worth it for anybody to even run any updates on anything right now. Let's look at the 1 month. Like, so Zealous profitability, I don't know. All right, so like I don't know how stable these numbers are. Oh, okay, I see how it's adjusting it. So it's not as crazy. These numbers aren't as crazy as you would think. So like, we're at like we're down 20% from where we were a month ago. So the yield is up. So as long as the yield keeps going up and the price keeps going down, the profitability numbers are still going to be the same, I guess. RxD isn't getting ASICs from Bitmain. Well, that's not good if RxD is not getting ASICs from Bitmain. Honestly, I guess you gotta ask yourself: are you just gonna hold it or are you gonna dump it? I don't have the answer to that. I don't think anybody does. I would probably just hold it. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. I guess, right? I don't know, guys. I don't have an answer for that one. But it's tough out there right now, and it kind of makes sense why everybody was on salad. And I know we had that salad drama this past weekend, and I definitely look. I like some of the people involved. I like Son of a Tech. I like all the other YouTubers, but like, I don't agree with what Son of a Tech said. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like throwing anybody under the bus, but I feel like I wanted to address this, and I'll address it in my stream. I think the way he handled that was poor. He basically retracted everything he said at the end. The thing that was tough for me, right, is your friends or these guys. Why don't you ask them if they were getting paid for ad reads? And even if they were getting paid ad reads, I'm sure they would have said something. But the fact that you were getting paid out in Amazon gift cards, it's not like Amazon gift cards are a cryptocurrency that's going to tank in value. You're not pumping up a currency that will eventually become worthless. Like, if I'm like a random guy and I watch a bunch of Brandon Quinn videos on salad, I'm like, oh, it's profitable. Maybe I'm not going to make what he makes, but if one of my computers is making like $5 a day on salad, or maybe $6 or $7 a day, how am I getting hurt by him shilling it, and like him shilling it and getting, and if I use his code, he gets money from the company. Like, how am I getting hurt by it? Everybody's making money on it. I don't understand. Now, obviously, I never mind salad, and I don't recommend people do it unless you understand the risks that you give to your network. So, like, if you understand network security, then go ahead and do it. But I think the way he kind of just went off on everybody and was basically saying YouTubers are scamming, and like, he was kind of acting like a gatekeeper for crypto, and I don't really think it's his right to do that. Sure, he's had a lot of hits, right? And he did really well on a lot of stuff. But as you can see from the fact that he shut off, he's had a lot of misses too. So, like, maybe he was just in a bad place. I mean, I know he's had a lot of stuff go on in his life, unfairly so. You never want to wish anything bad on anybody. But, like, is that the time to just dump on other miners or other influencers? Guys, I called out Voscoin when he was promoting an airdrop, because I think airdrops are basically all scams. I will tell anybody that. I think airdrops are scams. It's a good way to get yourself hacked. Right? Don't ever trust an airdrop, is my saying. I'd rather miss out on a few dollars here and there than get hacked and lose all my stuff. So I never trust airdrops. I never have. I never will. So I called him out on that. And I said, don't mine salad. I don't think it's worth mining if you can't secure network. But I just think the way he went off on everybody wasn't fair. And he basically even sent out tweets later on saying he retracted it. Like, if you look at the timeline, I think I can get on Twitter here. I don't know if I can follow his account. Let me see if they'll let me look at things. Probably not. Let me see if I can get on his Twitter. Hold on. Just catching up on the chat. Salad is paid by Amazon. Good deal for me. Masters Ninja says he's bitter that crypto fundamentals aren't getting adopted. I believe he has a lot going on in his life, and that was his opinion. Yeah, like I said, I totally believe he's dealt a pretty terrible hand. There was some news that he posted that you never wish would happen to anybody, but it still doesn't give you the right to like throw a bunch of crypto miners under the bus or other things. Like, I just think it was a whole lot of ish for nothing. And like, he's been nothing but nice to me, for the record. Like, he's been nothing but nice to me. So like, I'll put a link to his Twitter. Let me see if I can get it up here. But like, he basically retracted everything he said and kind of like caused a bunch of people a lot of unneeded stress. I decided I'm not gonna put his Twitter up here. So it just was kind of a little bit of a bummer that he went and did that. I think you can just get all the facts before you kind of throw people under the bus. And look, like I said, you can disagree with salad and you can tell people not to mine it without dunking on people who are. I'm not mining it still. I could build myself like 2 or 3 salad rigs. Probably not going to right now. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to. I got to learn more network security, and I just haven't had time. Life is too busy, guys. So we've hit the halfway mark of the stream. As always, I don't have a sponsorship for this podcast yet. I am working on that. I'm working on acquiring more sponsors. Please go ahead and make sure you like and sub to my channel. The views, everything, it really, really helps me. I do crypto. I do non-crypto. I'm just trying to get as much more regular content out as I can. With life, it's just difficult, and you're just balancing it all. It's all a balancing act. But if you guys can make sure you hit that like button, you hit that sub button, trying to hit 4K subs as fast as possible, and 1,000 Twitter followers, and I really, really appreciate it. NerdBeast says, I think everyone just overreacted at the end, though. YouTubers do have a responsibility to be ethical about sponsorships, and I do not agree with him saying it was a money laundering thing. Yes, so I want to talk about that, NerdBeast. So 2 things there. The first thing is ethics. I really feel that as content creators, all we have is our word. If you think what I'm selling you is horse crap, you're not going to buy it. Like, I've been doing a lot of promotions with PCSP, and I really do believe in those octo miners. Now, they haven't been issue free for me, and I will be doing a video on some of the issues that I've had with them. I still think they're worth buying overall, but there are definitely some things that you need to consider before you buy them. And I've said that. And when I did my review on it, people were DMing me and people were posting on my comments saying, why didn't you talk about the fans never stopping? Why didn't you talk about the size of the case? And, it's frustrating when you hear people saying that stuff, like you're being dishonest when you're like, did you watch my review? I mean, did you watch this review that I did right here? It has everything on it that is not going right. Like every issue with them, I talk about it. And like, even when I do videos promoting mining farms, like I got to pay the bills somehow, guys. Like I get paid in product, I get paid in promotions. I'm very much like telling you to only buy things with trade protection, PayPal, Alibaba Trade Assurance. I don't ever want you guys to get in a situation where you could get wrecked. So that's why I'm very open about what I promote. And I think most other YouTubers are too, because if people don't trust you, they're not going to use your links, they're not going to help you, they're not going to support your channel, and then your channel's done. If you get caught lying, and if you don't have your word, you have nothing else, guys. And I think that's very important. And I think that's one of the things that, honestly, I think Son of a Tech damaged his credibility a little bit after going after all those people. And that is why everybody overreacted. Because it's like calling someone a thief. Once you call someone, make an allegation against someone, even if we live in a society of innocent until proven guilty, those personas or those allegations are hard to dodge, which is why people go to such extreme lengths to be upfront and honest about things. And the money laundering thing, I thought about it, and at first I was like, well, that's a valid consideration. But then again, like, theoretically, cryptocurrency could be used as money laundering. Regular dollars could be used as money laundering. Anything could be used as money laundering. Ozzy says, broski, finally here. What are we mining this week? Hey, Ozzy, I owe you a DM. I'll get to you after the stream. Let's see. NerdB says, I tried to see how it actually worked, had a 3070 on it, then I eventually switched to something else. Sure, look, I think that rental mining, is a thing in the future and is worth considering, but you're going to have the right network for it. Like, look, if AI rentals get to the point where it's like ETH, where you're making hundreds of dollars a day on them, I would strongly just buy a new network. Like, I would literally get a new internet connection, and I would only have it where it had those rigs on it. It would be like I would pay $100 a month or $200 a month for 100 up, 100 down, and it would be totally isolated. So if you got into my machines, you get into my mining machines, you get nothing out of them. So like that is what I would do. I mean, my mining farm is actually on a different internet connection than my home right now, and it's been worth it. Now that's for something else it uses as well that I cover the cost on. So like it's worth it to me to do, but I don't even have my mining stuff on my home network. I don't trust it. As far as what we're mining this week, it seems like Spectre is a good CPU coin. I'm going to look into that. Maybe I don't know if I'll do a video on it, but I'll definitely talk about it in Wednesday's live stream. I am currently on Ironfish with the 170HXs. I am on Zealous and Chlor, really, are the three things I'm mining. I actually want to build a bag of Chlor, so I'm doing it before I kind of got to shut them down. Zealous is still profitable, and Iron is still profitable in the 170HXs, guys. Like, don't sleep on these. Don't sleep on these 170HXs. They are really profitable. Like, even at my reduced settings right now with the secret BIOS, which I actually have to mail back the 10 gigabit model that I was mistakenly sent. You're looking at, so I kind of dialed the settings down on mine temporarily just because it was hot out. Where's Iron? I am so terrible at finding the calculator on these things, guys. I am just so utterly terrible at locating things. Just gotta go Iron. Here we go. Iron. So I'm getting 124 mega hash at, like, I think it's, let me pull up my farm. 124 mega hash at, let's see, oh no, I'm at the 127. I went full blast again. So I'm at 127 at 210. So 127 at 210 on the watts, and I'm more profitable than a 4090 right now. I'm making 36 cents a day. And if you look at the 4090 profitability numbers over here on, just hashrate.no, they're like 29 cents right now. I don't count gram. So, like, 170HXs are the way to go. If I had more spare income, because I just bought I bought a new bed. I had to pay for a trip, which I may do some quick live streaming from the trip. It might be fun. It's not a crypto related trip. It's just a fun trip. I needed a break because this is going to be my last year of traveling for fun. I've got a lot of trips for YouTube next year. I've got CES, I've got Computex, I'm going to try Mining Disrupt. So I don't think I'm going to have many trips with the boys next year, so we're kind of having fun. So I can't really buy that many more 170HXs. I only have one rig of 6 right now. My goal is to get another rig of 6 before the holidays, and I'm really going to try hard to get that. I'm just going to save up my YouTube money and my sponsorship money to buy that. I really would like 2 12-card rigs of them. And they're basically 4060, or they're basically 4090 level profitable, guys. So Ozzy says, I've got a lot of hardware and 3090s, and the network isn't my personal only mining. If you have extra hardware, Salad isn't bad, but I definitely wouldn't have this on a home network. Exactly, Ozzy. That's right. I'm going to try to see if I can get a Salad rig sponsored. I have a video content idea where I want to see how cheap I can build a Salad rig. I have one 3090 left. I'd like to get one more for like a Salad rig content, so we'll see if I can pull it off. Eve, no, I know nothing. What's going on, brother? Ace K, do you have any D-pin projects? I have one D-pin project, and I probably will never do it again. It was helium mining. Ironically, I got in super late, even though I knew about it super early. And had I not kept one really expensive miner, I would have probably already broken even on it. But at this point, I have one that's down that I haven't even bothered to get back up. I have 3 of them running, and one of them isn't running too well. At this point, I'm just going to run them till they're not profitable. But I don't think I would get into D-Pin. D-Pin's hard to recommend, guys. D-Pin is like I knew about Honey when it was big, Hive Mapper. Like, I should have gotten into Hive Mapper early because it would have been useful for my other business. But, like, the logistics of it didn't make sense, so I just skipped it. It's like anything, guys. Like, these D-Pin projects, which can't really repurpose the hardware for anything, like, hold on. Here's a miner. This thing's been down for months, and I just haven't even bothered to get the time to get it back up, right? Like, if you... Look, I learned a lesson. I honestly am probably not going to lose money on these when they're said and done. They're still making money, and funny enough, they still make like a few cents a day, so they still make like GPU level money right now. Funny enough, like they make as much as a 3070, so you can't really be mad at them. But at the same point, like if you spent thousands on these and you got in too late, you were done. So it's really, really hard to recommend D-Pin projects. It's very similar to ASICs, And if you'll know, I only promote ASICs that I believe in that are like small level ASICs, right? Like the Jazz Miner cost me $3,300 when I bought it. And I am halfway to break, probably a little less now that profits are going down, but 5 months in, I'm halfway to breaking even. I have my KS Zeros, which made me a metric crap ton of money, and I think most people did okay on them, but I would not recommend getting like a KS1 or KS5 or any of that stuff. Now, I do have a new sponsorship coming up with Crypto Miner Bros, and I really want to thank them. They've been super supportive to me, and they'll be sending me an a KS0 Ultra to review. But I do want to preface, I had the chance to buy them from a supplier for super cheap, and I was talking to my buddy about it, and he's like, would you buy them? And I told him that they were profitable. Like, you were making, like, we did some math, and here, I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. While we're talking about it, you got me on this train, so I want to show you this. So we're going to go to Caspa real quick, and now I don't have it yet, and when I do get it, it will be sponsored, so I will be biased on it, whether I tell you to buy it or not. And I told my buddy this too, because he said, are you going to buy some? And I said, I'm not sure. I said, so if you're getting 400 Caspa a day, right, you're getting $1.50, which is way more profitable than a 4090, okay? And at like, I think it was like $250, I was like, look, if you were to make $1.50 a day, probably, well, I did the math at 75 cents a day because I assumed the Caspa hash rate would double, right? And then, so I said, you're going to pay, I think it was $300 after everything was said and done, right? If you're going to pay $300 for this thing and you're going to make 75 cents a day at the current prices, it's going to take you 400 days to break even on it. So if you think the price of Caspa will double, then it'll be 200 days. 200 days is a really good ROI and a very low risk. Now, I didn't buy one, and I told him I wasn't, because I think that in the long run, I have very limited funds to spend right now. And for me, I think buying 170HXs was better. But I said, if your power rate is high, then it's not the worst thing to buy. But these are low-risk ASICs, right? And they can mine other things too. Hell, my KS Zeros are mining Cedra right now, and they still are borderline profitable. But these things are different than DPen. They can do things. You know what they do, and you know what you're getting with them. DPen is like another level of risk. Like, I thought Weather XM was cool because it actually gives you like your weather at your house, and that makes me kind of want to get that one. But like, I would get it sponsored, and then I would tell you my opinion about it. If it came down to me paying actual cash for it, I don't think I would. Like, I would buy one of these in the right situation, right? And I think they're. I mean, a KS0 Ultra right now is more profitable than a 4090. And this is when everything's at the worst. So, like, you know, it's one of those things where you can lead a horse to water, but you can't drink. You give them your opinion, and you go from there. Catching up on chat, waiting for 2 Hive mappers I ordered in December. Well, that too, right? You wait forever for some of these things. Now, thankfully, I didn't order any from any super shady companies, and the one helium miner I overpaid for, I sold it to my buddy for what I paid. Right before everything crashed. I didn't know it was going to crash. It was just luck. And I messaged him and I'm like, bro, I'm sorry. And he's like, look, dude, you didn't do anything wrong. You just said you wanted to not have $3,000 invested in helium and only 2. And you weren't lying. And I'm like, I wasn't lying. And he's like, it is what it is, man. Maybe I'll eventually make my money back. So, you know, catching up. NerdB says, I want to set up the PCSP Octominer, but it's so hot. Yeah. My mining series took way longer than I wanted because I've only been doing stuff in the morning and I couldn't do too much. What's up, Massless Ninjas? Thanks for saying hi. NerdB says, DPen is like anything crypto. You have to get in early. I have a Hive Mapper, Demo, and GeoNet. All of them make money. Yeah, but here's the problem, and here's why I don't want to advertise certain things, right? You have to get in early, but by the time YouTubers are advertising it, it's too late. Most of the time. Now, Hive Mapper was a little different because a lot of tubers started it real early and it wasn't making that much money. But when Hive Mapper like really started shilling it and giving people free units was when it was like everybody who had it before was making bank and everybody else who was buying it was like, eh. So I feel that it's my responsibility as an influencer, which is why I like to cover GPUs too. Like, I'm trying to stay out of a lot of the crypto stuff, even though it makes me more money. I'm trying to be more of a GPU guy, because if I tell you to buy a 4070 for mining and then it's terrible at mining, I'll know that it's going to be terrible in the future. And you still have it as a gaming GPU. Like, you know, these 470s, right? These 470s that were terrible or that were great at mining for a while and now they're terrible. Well, this 470 is not good at anything because it's like shattered. I'm going to frame this, I think, and hang it on my shed. But you can still use these things as gaming GPUs. Like, they're not totally worthless. We're like, what am I going to do with this thing if I can't get it working? Like, what am I going to do with this if I can't get it working? You know what I mean? So that's why I prefer GPUs. Let's see. NerdB says, but all of them paid off already. Yeah, look, I've won way more than I've lost. Like, my wins on my KS Zeros cover any losses I had from Helium and any losses I had for basically any other hardware I've bought and then some. Like, I have not lost on any hardware, but the Hive one, and I honestly, when Hive was at like $12, I could have sold and basically gone 3/4 of breaking even. So, you know, Ozzy said I made a killing on Hive Mapper, but I was super early, and he also says 170 HXs for the win. When GPU mining comes back, they're going to be gold. Now, to be fair, that depends on how excited people are for memory algorithms. With the 170 HXs, you are going all in on memory algos, which is why I don't want a whole farm of them, but at the same point, they're all I'm buying right now. And I really feel that the 50 series is going to be prohibitively not worth it for mining. Maybe the 5090. And look, I'm gonna get at least a pair of 5090s. I plan on having 2 of them probably, one for gaming and maybe one for mining. But like, I don't even know if the 5080. Maybe the 5080 could be worth it. It just depends on why you compare it to the 4090. But like, I don't know, guys. NerdB says Ozzy took a long trip and made almost 2K. I miss those days. Yeah, I don't want to tell you what I do in real life because I just don't want to give away the farm. You know, some of my information should be private. But I could have made, had I done the Hive miners right, could have made a lot. Put it that way. Let's see. Ace K, wish I had a Hive Mapper. Great to those that made a killing. Listen, never be jealous of anybody who makes a killing on something. Be happy for them. Because when people get bitter or people get those negative feelings, they make mistakes. And maybe they go into projects they shouldn't have. Like my KS Zeros, right? I could have sold them. Even like 3 months ago, I could have sold them and upgraded to KS Zero Pros, which I probably should have, but I didn't. Now I'm probably never going to sell my KS Zeros. And what I am going to do one day is I'm going to frame them. And they are going to be that thing that hit me so good. Like, had I had the money and I bought KS1 or KS2 back then, oh my goodness. I do have to give credit to T-Swift for that. T-Swift was the one that told, he's like, buy it now. He was very honest and upfront about it. I don't have any sponsorships with him or affiliates with him, but he was the one that got me to buy those, and I bought them from him, and I made a good deal. So I did buy the KS Zeros from T-Swift. If anybody asks, I will tell you that. You know, I have him to thank for that, if we're being honest. Let's see. Nerd Beast, you may be able to turn that helium thing into a crank miner. It was better a while ago, but it may earn something. Yeah, I'm debating on either trying to get it back to helium or turning it into crank. We'll see. Guys, please make sure you smash that like button too right now. One of the miners that I do really like that actually is still very profitable is the Jazz miner. Now, I think my next ASIC play is to get another Jazz miner. I do want to show, like, if you look at Octaspace, and, you know, it's doing pretty good. Like, Octa is one of the few things that's holding pretty well right now. And, like, they're cheap. Now, I moved mine to my shed because it was too hot in the garage. But, like, in the winter, I can just move it into a room and heat it up. And I actually plan on doing that. Because I'm probably going to leave my heat off in the basement. And I'm going to probably use my jazz miners my octo miners, my jazz miners to power it. And my goal is to get 1 or 2 more jazz miners. I would like to have 2 by the end of the year, maybe 3. Now, Zill mining is going to go away soon, but I really like these things, man. I think at the rate I'm going, my Jazz Miner X16Q should ROI itself by the end of the year, which is pretty dang impressive. Let's see. Ozzy says, exactly. For every major win, there's also mega losses. D-Pin is a gamble, but you must be early. And that's exactly why you'll never see me promote a D-Pin product unless I have an alternate reason for it. And I'm going to tell you up front what I like. Like I told Crypto Mining Bros when we started working together, I said, look, I'm going to be 100% honest about everything. And they said, and to their credit, they told me that is all they want is honesty. And I understand why Panda works with them as such a big sponsor. Nerd Beast, there's always something around the corner in crypto to make money on. Excuse me. Maybe not with Alf, but there are other things. Look, I still think Alf is going to make money. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I warned you guys. I told you guys so much. I said, this is what I'm doing. And do you remember when I did that video on Lithium? I said, I showed you my Ironfish fail. And I said, this could fail. It's down 50%. Now, I've been buying it lately at these lower costs. So, like, I'm okay on it. And I have a pretty big bag of Lithium now, for being honest. NerdB says, I always wanted to get a Jazz Miner, too broke, though. One day we'll have enough. They're pretty cheap. I mean, like, you can look at, you can check out Jingle Mining and Crypto Miner Bros. I had a Jingle Mining sponsorship. I'm probably going to let that expire now, but you can see how much they cost here, and then you can see what Crypto Miner Bros has them for. I will do a 6-month profitability on my Jazz Miner probably here in a few weeks, but let's look at you can see the KS0 already went back up in price at $4.49, but I think their prices are shipped to your door, which isn't bad. I wonder why the KS0 it's sold out. That's why. Let's look at Jazz Miner here. Where is Jazz Miner? They have it somewhere over here. Jazz Miner. So if we look at the X16QE, the QE could be interesting. Someone asked me about it, and I'm going to do a video on it for Crypto Miner, or I'm going to try to do a video on it in the future. I'd like to get my hands on one. Seems decent. I'll go into detail on it probably later, but it basically gives you 80% of the hash for 80% of the power for 80% of the cost of an X16Q. So it essentially is like, how long do you think you'll be profitable till the new miners come out? And I mean, Jazz Miner's notoriously slow for making their new miners. And I did meet the Sunlane CEO at CES, and I didn't see anything about those new Jazz Miners. Like, I know they're doing a Bitcoin miner that's coming up, and maybe they'll have more on their miners at Mining Disrupt today. Maybe you'll hear more from them. But until we hear a lot more, I don't hate this miner, guys. I really don't. Especially if you have higher power costs. Like, look, we are at the point where let me pull up the Jazz Miner. So the X16Q, right? This is 12 cents. This is 12 cents you're making profit, right? Like, you see up here it says 12 cents. What's profitable here? Like, that's not stupidly expensive. So let's go down the line. Something that's not going to cost you. All right, so like let's look at the Ice River KS5L. Let's go to Crypto Miner Bros and see how much it costs, right? That's 5,000. It's not the worst, but 5,000 is a lot of money to invest in a miner right now. But again, 5,000 isn't the worst. I think like 5,000 would be kind of like the highest I would consider like affordable for a home ASIC. Anything else in like 7, 8, 10,000, you're starting to risk like real money. And it's not that 5,000 isn't real money. It's just 5,000, are you going to be able to be okay if it became worthless? Like that's what you got to ask yourself. And all of this stuff is sold out anyway. Like look at this. None of it. I'm sorry. This one is in stock. And obviously you'd have to get a later batch. I never recommend buying spot batches. You will never make the money back. Like you're talking a $2,300 difference to get it 30 days before. This isn't the beginning. This isn't where, a month would become the difference from $30 to $1 a day. You're not talking that much. Like the network hash rate isn't going to go up that insane in 30 days to justify $2,000. So always buy the later batch. But like $5,100 right there, and it's the 5L, you're making $34 a day. So you got to assume half of that for profitability, right? So 5,500, and let's divide that by 15. You got a year's ROI. It's not the worst. Now if Casper price, you're assuming Casper price would double, and you're assuming that you'll make half of this profitability for a year. I would think you'd probably get 3/4 of a year maybe out of it. But like, okay, so that's one, right? And then we've got the Gold Shell AL box. How much does that cost? Probably cost too much money to make it worth it. Let's see. Let's go to what do these things cost now? Like $6,000? Yeah, I'm not buying these. These are basically like once a big announcement comes, they're done. They're already from $30 a day to $18 a day. Like once a big ASIC comes, these things are KS0s. I would never buy one of these. You're just gonna lose your money. And if you pay $10,000 on it, I feel bad for you. So then you have the Jazzminer X16P that's making $4 a day, right? What is the Jazzminer X16P cost on Crypto Miner Bros? Let's look and see. I like the Jazzminer X16P, but it costs $10,000. Look, are you gonna make your $10,000 back before the next generation miner comes out? So it's gonna cost you $10,000, and these things make, what are they making a day? They're on ETC though. So let's see. It has it at $4.45 a day, 5.8, so 6 gigahash, right? We can use my Jazzminer X16Q, which is a third of that, right? So right now I'm making about, I want to say $4 a day with Octo and Zill, right? No, about $4 a day. Okay, so let's just take, so that thing is actually making $12 a day. It's not making $4, right? So if you take 1,000 or 10,000, right, and then you divide that by 12, hold on, my math skills are terrible. Divide it by 12, and you have 833 days. So the hash rate is only going to go up, right? So 833 days. You need your Octaspace to go through the moon, or you're looking at 3-year ROI. Like that's a lot different than the KS. That's a lot different than buying a $3,000 KS0. And I'm sorry, not KS0, X16Q. And the difference is that you can't exactly put this big giant miner, right? You can't exactly put this big giant miner in your house in the winter, because that's where the Jazzminer X16Q is also amazing. It's a heater. This thing is not a heater. You cannot put that in your house. So catching up on chat, D-Pin is a 100% in Pyramid. Pure Crypto Bros, what up, man? He says, what's going on? Ozzy says, I'm just selling cheap Chinese electronics at a premium. If I didn't have cheap power where I'm at, I would go all in on the X16Q. For me, the 170HX makes sense. Yeah. Thoughts on the L9? I don't know what I think on the L9. Nerdbeast says, if I had 10K to spare, I would just buy BTC, to be honest. And Ozzy says, based on the older Litecoin, Dogecoin miners, they seem like a safer bet. Look, if I had $10,000 to spend on, and I was going to buy ASICs, and I had a power of like 4 cents, man, if I had power of 4 cents, right, like he does, if I had 4 cents power, I would honestly, here's the thing too, right? Like, I don't like to buy Bitcoin miners because I don't have the infrastructure, and you don't know how long you're going to have the infrastructure. And I mean, you know how long you're going to have 4 cents power better than anybody else, but like, man, I don't know. Like, everything seems to be profitable in that sense. I don't know. I'd probably buy ETH hash ASICs, but I would be safe rather than sorry. Look, I'm very bearish on hardware, especially ASICs. It's why I didn't make what other people made, going all in on the Caspa ASICs early. You know, I spent $3,500. I couldn't afford to spend more than 30. I think I spent $2,900 on my 3KS zeros. I couldn't afford to spend more. Had I been able to, maybe I would have bought a KS1 and I would have did as good as greater good mining on it. And that would have been the craziest I would have went. So I'm not too crazy. He's currently got 20 S19s. Well, I mean, at 4.3 cents, everything is profitable. Look, I don't think the new Nvidia cards are gonna be good at mining. I really don't. I really think you're gonna be very disappointed when you see what they do. Nvidia's not gonna price these things aggressively. They're not gonna need to. Your best hope for good crypto mining GPUs is the 5090 and RDNA 4, but that's all speculation. So, it's pure and utter speculation. And Ozzy, I might DM you on those, actually. I might want to give one of those a try. I don't know. And see what else he has. Anyway, we're at about the 1 hour mark. This has been a great stream. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. Please smash that like button. I kind of went on a tangent about what you should buy and what I like, but this is good. This is why I do these streams. You know, for anybody listening, I hope this was insightful. You know, if you're, I am going to do a video on what crypto hardware I would buy. I think that's going to come up in the future. Look, guys, don't be down on mining. I think now, if you can afford it, is the time to expand, but expand smartly. If you have to shut off, shutting off is fine too. I know we've got the triple whammy of heat, crappy profits, and power going up, and that's a terrible combination to mine. So, you know, use this time to mine smartly or to turn off. If you want to shuffle around your portfolio, don't come to me for advice on that because I don't know what the F to do. I stick to hardware for a reason. I'm not a day trader. I never try to be. I do want to promote, though, that Crypto Miner Bros did give me or not Crypto Miner Bros. They are hopefully going to give me a code, but PCSP did give me a code. If you use the code Kroot5, you will get 5% off your miner. Smash that code. It helps me. It helps me get a better working relationship with them. Not that they're already not great. They have great customer service. These miners are not perfect, but you will not find a cheaper turnkey solution than the $284 Octo miner with my code and free shipping. I don't know where you're going to get that, actually. You're not going to get it anywhere. I was actually going to help someone liquidate a ton of mining cases, and I told him to wait. I said, because you're not going to beat PCSP's prices. And I said, don't even waste your time and don't waste your ad revenue on me because I'm not going to be able to sell them for you. So this week, I just want to let you guys know, we're going to have our regularly scheduled stream for Monday and for Friday. And then we are also, hold on, actually, sorry. We are also going to be having for Monday for sure, for maybe Friday. Expect every other day for the next week or two. I'm going to be doing a lot of shed videos. If you haven't watched my shed video, please watch it. It's a great one. It just kind of shows you a little more on the PCSP Octo miners as well, and kind of like what my strategy is with just where I'm storing my miners and how I'm cooling them. So expect one of these Wednesday and Friday. I've got some good content on gaming GPUs coming up. And if you do want to know more about the 178Xs, take a look at my hash rate testing video I did and my triple mining video I did last week as well. Please smash that like button. Please do anything you can do to support the channel. Liking, anything, even being a member. If I get enough members, I'm going to start doing live streams for members only, where you guys can just pick my brain and ask me whatever you want. I also offer consulting services. You can shoot me an email if you want. It's just things that I try to do to make a little bit of extra money on the side so I can get hardware to support this channel. Also, if you would like to sell hardware, I can help you sell it. I had to take the video down for my buddy because he sold his entire farm. And I don't know if you guys have seen Modern Mining's latest video. He's great. You should give him a follow. Let me find it for you. He bought an entire. You should give him a follow. He bought an entire mining farm, and he bought it from my contact. He saw my video and shot him a message, and that's how he got that mining farm. So I'm pretty good at selling stuff too. So this is just me doing an ad read for myself, trying to get some more business for the channel. And if you guys know any other sponsors, feel free to send them my way. So again, guys, your support has been great. I really appreciate you coming out and listening to this. This is a podcast, stream designed to be listened for a podcast. So feel free to rewind to the beginning if you'd like. So thank you again for watching, guys. I really, really appreciate everybody here. Jock Miner, you are very late. Just rewind it and you can listen to the rest of it. NerdB says, fun stream, man. Sometimes talking about random stuff is fun. And you did help me when you put in my code. It really does help. Pure Crypto Miner Bros had an issue with one of his boards, and they were able to help him, and that was great. And thanks for keeping the excitement alive, Ninja says. I'm trying, guys. Look, I'm going to always be honest with you about my feelings on crypto mining. This is not just a crypto mining channel. I am going to be doing a little bit more non-crypto mining content because I don't want to kill the beast, and I don't want to beat the same dead horse. And I do want to talk more about gaming a little bit and GPUs because that's where my heart is, guys. All right, guys. So thanks again. You have a great day. See you on Wednesday. Take a look at the stream. Take a look at all the other videos. Krootman.